As kids, we usually dream about what we want to be when we grow up. I think we all do it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We all can't be firemen, but we make plans, we get a job, we work hard, we have successes, we have failures, we change jobs many times, certainly. But we go through life and we think we have it all figured out, and then you find yourself standing at a door, and that door is marked retirement. And you're getting ready to walk through that door. And the big question is, are you prepared? Do you have a plan? Well, I didn't. My name is Bob Hallstrom, and this is my advice. When I was a kid, I grew up around people that built buildings. And so I became very interested and fascinated by that, particularly about how things go together and the planning that goes in to building those buildings. And I always saw blueprints laying around. And I learned that there are people out there that do this planning for building these buildings. And that's where I learned what an architect did. And I became very interested in that career. I know in my high school yearbook, going back a little bit, in our senior year, under your picture, they usually had, you could put what your future plans were. In my yearbook, my future plan was becoming an architect. So I pursued that goal. I actually struggled to get into school. I did stick to my plan, and I did become an architect. My career really was spent building two different companies, an architectural firm, it's called KTH Architects, and a construction company, a separate construction company called Hallstrom Construction. I poured myself into these businesses. It was my complete focus of my life. We had lots of successes and failures throughout my career, just like most everybody else does. But you stay incredibly focused on those businesses. But when it comes to that point of retirement, or the whole issue of retirement, I look upon it as two different phases. The first phase is while you're still working. You have to plan for your company after you retire. In my case, I wanted both of our companies to go on and continue on and go on forever. So how do you do that? You find very good people, and you have to start early. Find very good people, give them the tools to do their work, give them opportunities, give them responsibilities, allow them to be leaders, let them grow into leadership positions. And start early and let that happen, so when that time comes that you're ready to walk out the door, you know that your business is in good hands and it is going to go on without a hitch. The worst thing you can do is try to cling to your career and cling to your leadership in the company and have to be forced out the door, or just hang around and become unproductive, and it's usually disillusioning to your staff. In our case, we had a number of things that would help incentivize those young people. One in particular is we had mandatory retirement at age 65. You had to agree to that so that the young people that you're entrusting with the company going forward are going to know that you are definitely going to move on at a certain point, and they knew that that company was going to be theirs going forward. And we found that being a really great incentive to the young folks, and it helps you have that confidence that the company is going to do well going forward. The second part, of course, is planning after you walk through that door. You're standing in front of that door and you say, okay, now what? Now what do I do? Well, in my case, I planned very well for the first phase. Our company, now that I've been gone, it's been a few years now, they're doing wonderfully well. I had no plan for part two, which is after you walk through that door. I just assume that once I walk through that door into retirement, I'm going to relax. I'm going to grow old. I'm going to pursue hobbies. I'm going to go fishing, those sort of things. My own particular hobbies, I've liked. I love art. I love having a pencil in my hand. I love music. I don't play that well, but I still love music. And I've always liked teaching and mentoring. But hobbies just are not enough. I'm really, myself, I'm really struggling in my retirement right now. When you stay incredibly focused in your career and then work just shuts down, when you close that door behind you, it's a huge change. Okay, you can become unhappy. You have a lot of empty days. They always say every day's Saturday when you're retired. I have a number of friends that are retired, and that's kind of a joke that we say back and forth between us, that when you're retired, every day is Saturday. It's different than your work life, where you work 5 or 6 days a week or whatever you did, but then Saturday comes around and it's your day to pursue your hobbies, and it's a day to cut the grass and go fishing or do the things that you like to do. And so we compare it to retirement, where every day is Saturday. You wake up, you kind of have a blank page. When you don't have obligations and so on, it can be very unfulfilling, because again, you have too much free time. You just kind of wander around trying to find something fulfilling, something positive. When you are not busy, you are incredibly inefficient. When you're busy, you have so much time allotted for a project. You will get it done in that amount of time. If you have this amount of time to spend on it, you will spend that amount of time on the project. I found out very quickly that you need something more in life other than just relaxing and growing old. You need what I call a purpose. You need a purpose in life. On the next phase of your life, I certainly plan on being in the second phase of my life as long as I was in the first phase of my life. So you need to find that fulfilling purpose. In my job and my career, I made a difference in people's lives because of what I did, designing the built environment, where they live, where they work, how they live, how they work, how they move through life, and the spaces that they interact in has a tremendous impact on people, and it does make a difference. So my challenge is, how do I make a difference now in this post-retirement phase? I volunteer I'm on some committees in the community. I've been very active in the local hospital and that sort of thing. So in things like that, you have situations where you can give back to the community, but there's still lots and lots of opportunities. I still have lots of free time. You just find yourself now with, what next? What do I do next? After my career, I guess you have something of a reputation and a legacy, but now what is going to be that legacy that you're going to create for the second half of your life? What is that purpose that you're going to have? In my case, I love teaching. I love mentoring. My wife has a tremendous life coaching business that not only do they coach young people and adults in personal coaching, but she does a lot of corporate coaching and leadership training. So I've been helping her and participating in her workshops and her training sessions. But that's really just a start. I still have a lot of free time, and I'm searching very hard to find the things to fill my day and complete my purpose. Trying to find that purpose can be a challenge, but a couple recommendations would be: start early. Don't wait until you're standing in front of that door. Okay, and secondly, get some help. Okay, I was always a very independent person. I work by myself. I rarely, if ever, ask anyone for help. And I learned very quickly, well, not really quickly, I learned toward the end of my career that that was a mistake. We all need mentors. We all need advice. We all need life coaches. Anything that will give us a different perspective on things. We all think we know what's best for us, and we really don't. So start early. Start talking to other people that have made that transition. Talk to them about what they've done and what they've learned so you can possibly avoid some of their stumbles as well. We always need to talk about money because it seems to have a factor in everything. You obviously need to have enough money to survive during retirement and so on. But when it comes to making a difference in life and a difference in this world, you don't need money. You can make lots of difference in this world without the worry or the need for money. So I'm just going to present a challenge out there because it's my own challenge, which is to find that purpose in the next phase of your life. If there's an individual out there that is still in the middle of their career, but they're looking forward to retirement and having mai-tais on the beach, my advice to them would be, you're going to get tired of that very quickly. In theory, you could be retired for as long as you had a professional career, okay? There has to be more than that, okay? Find that more. Find that purpose and start looking now.
If we knew then all that we know now, I think the world would be better somehow. And if way back when someone showed